Right, it's been a while, so I owe everyone an update on training, what I've been doing, what I'm gonna do, and so on. So the goal has been and is 10 times bodyweight total in powerlifting. I've had 2 competitions since the last video. The first competition was in December. That was just a bit of a test to see where I was. There was £1,000 up for grabs, and I thought I had a fairly good chance at getting it. So it was a good opportunity to try and get some money and see where I was ready for the 10 times bodyweight. I didn't bother cutting weight for this one because it's not good to do that more than like once a year. But for the 10 times bodyweight comp, I did want to cut weight. So this one I weighed in at 80 kilograms. Unfortunately, I had a horrible cold on the day. However, training was going pretty good. So here's my best lifts in training up to there. We hit a 260 squat. This is probably a week before the competition. Fairly easy with fatigue, no peak, no rest. 260. We hit a 175 bench fairly cleanly, so I was happy with that. And then we hit my 300 deadlift, which has plagued me in comp for ages. Longish hold at the top, no straps, easy enough, so I'm pretty confident with 300. Now bear in mind I'd also deadlifted with straps 342 at home. So I know the strength is there for 340, it's just the grip. Grip seems to be solid at 300. So the aims for the comps with weighing in at 80, just anything above 260 squat, anything around 170 bench, and deadlift 300 minimum. So here's the comp day. I had a horrible cold on the day, and third squat was actually 270, and yeah, 260 for the second moved really easy, and then it's 270 here. Moved very well. It's like faster than any of my 260 squats at home. So I was extremely happy with that. That was one of the best squats I've ever done. Bench, just to get 3 attempts in, I played it pretty safe and went 167.5. At this point I was ahead on the competition on points. There was no weight classes in this one, so I was in first place right now. But the guy that was in second place has a monster deadlift as well, so I knew I'd have to deadlift at least 300. If I deadlifted 300, I thought I'd be out of reach for him to catch up. So first deadlift 270, which was easy, and then 300 for the next attempt. And unfortunately, at the top, my grip just started to go. So I set the bar way too deep in my hands at the start, and then the third attempt, my foot slipped on some talc on the platform. I felt like the grip was set a lot better on the third, but yeah, they said I could have a fourth, but by that point I was done. So that was Spartan Raw out of the way. So I ended at 707.5 total, something like 490 dots. So only PB total. Obviously I missed out on 30 kilos on my deadlift, which would have been a huge dots PR and a huge total PR. I think I was strong enough to do it. I've done it in training enough times. I didn't cut weight. I just messed up the grip and the platform wasn't that grippy. Yeah, that was a great test to see where I was. I bought some new shoes. I bought Notorious lifts, which are very grippy on the bottom, and then started prepping for the next competition 2 months later, where I wanted to go for 10 times bodyweight total. So in terms of the cut, for my last competition where I cut weight, I started at 81 in the sauna and got down to 75. So I can do about 6 kilos in the sauna. However, that sapped my performance a little bit. So this time I wanted to get into the sauna about 78 and only cut 4 and go to 74 kilograms. So since I weighed in at 80 at Spartan Raw, I just maintained that weight. So I was hovering around 80 for the whole of training up to the competition, up to the 10 times bodyweight competition. Here's a session from that prep. So I wanted to do a 10 times bodyweight in total without weighing in, of course, just to make sure the strength was there before. And I did that 5 weeks before the competition, so I had plenty of time to build on it. So this was a 267.5 squat. It was hard, but at this point, this is the end of a block where I'm very fatigued and tired. And then I benched 172.5 here. I built this up to 175 as well a week after. But yeah, 172.5, and then I deadlifted 300 again, easily, without straps. Longish hold at the top, no problems with grip. Pretty confident with 300 again. Okay, so that's 5 weeks out from comp. So I had a deload week, and then I had a 4-week block. And on the very first week, I hurt my back squatting like 200 kilograms or something. I just leant forward slightly and my back hurt a little bit, and it didn't get much better. And each week I still tried to squat and deadlift heavy, and it kept hurting. So it ended up that I went like 3 weeks without squatting or deadlifting heavy before competition. But by the time the comp came around, I felt all right. Now, weigh-in, I actually did not go to plan. So I started the sauna at 78 exactly as planned, and for some reason as soon as I hit 76 I just stopped losing weight, and that was the same as the ABS one when I'd cut from 81. And what had actually happened is I'd just lost body fat, but I hadn't lost any muscle mass when I was walking around under 80. So when I started to dehydrate and everything's gone, the muscle mass I have at 76 was the same as the last competition ABS, even though I weigh 2 kilograms lighter walking around. So it ended up taking 12 hours in the sauna again and completely sapped me for the competition. So things weren't looking good, but I did weigh in at 74, so that was a positive. And then here is the comp footage. So we started at 240, but at the bottom, as you'll see, the legs are a little bit wobbly, which means the nervous system just isn't firing properly. For a second we wanted to go 260, but we went 255 just because things weren't looking as good as normal. And then instead of the 270 as planned for the third, we went 265 to be safe. However, I failed it. The strength just wasn't there due to the cut. So I should have really went 260. At this point I knew that 10 times body weight is probably out of the question. There's not much chance I'm hitting a 10 times body weight. So we decided I would try to take the record in my weight class, which was 725. So we come to bench. So bench, for the first opener, 160, I got a very long pause, so listen to this. Yeah, long pause, but it went up easy enough. So 170 for the second, which was what the plan was. And then the plan for the third was like 175, but 170 was hard, so we just tried to add the minimal amount possible, and yeah, it wasn't there. So this started to turn into like the worst competition day ever, given how good prep was. 270 deadlift open, easy enough. 285 for a PB total and PB dots. This is 515 dots, which is pretty respectable, 515. And then 300 to try and take the record in my weight class. However, my grip was fine, but the strength just wasn't there after the cut. So yeah, that completely sucks and is one of the worst competitions I've had, even though I got a PB total and a PB dot score. So I need to make some changes. So from now on, when I sauna, I'm gonna cap my time to 2 or 3 hours in the sauna. 12 hours obviously is too much. I had a weight target I wanna hit. I'm just gonna compete in the 82s. Doesn't matter, I'm not gonna cut down to 74. If I compete in the 82s, as you can see, that Spartan raw, without peaking, being ill, I hit 270 squat pretty easy. So I can, at 80 kilograms, I can probably push that up to like 280. Deadlift, I have the strength for 340. If the grip improves, let's say we get 320. And then bench, let's hope I can get around 180. But yeah, it's gonna probably be easier to hit a 10 times body weight total at a slightly higher body weight, just without doing the cut, or without doing an extreme cut, you know? So that's the plan. So I'm gonna gain some muscle mass. All these 2 years I've been training powerlifting, I've kind of been eating either maintenance calories or a bit of a calorie deficit, especially towards competition, because I know that I need to cut weight. I start eating in a calorie deficit. So it's going to be nice just to train for an entire year, eating in a little bit of a calorie surplus, hopefully enable me to get a lot stronger. So I'm actually getting married this year, and then we have a honeymoon, and I don't want to compete in winter, so that's like summer kind of taken up. Winter, I'm going to be training to compete the next summer. So I have a whole year to train. So I'm going to take a little bit of a back off from powerlifting. I'm still going to do it and maintain my lifts. I'm going to have 6 months of getting as athletic as possible at around 86 kilograms body weight, if I can get there and get lean and get jacked. I'm going to come back to doing all my athletic stuff. So I've been going gymnastics once a week. This is my first session back. So I'm still pretty athletic. What surprised me is I can actually do planche push-ups just from gaining bench strength, which I couldn't do these as well before. Now I'm a heavier body weight, but I'm just stronger in the bench. Like, planche push-ups were just easy somehow. So yeah, there's going to be a lot more like athletic stuff on this channel than just powerlifting. And then I'll probably do a 6-month prep just for powerlifting again for next summer in a year's time, to try and actually get a respectable total that fulfills my potential. Because, you know, training at home, I'm hitting the numbers where I can get very high up on the world rankings, but I'm just not meeting those expectations in competition. So we make some changes, we have fun with training, and yeah, get as explosive and powerful and athletic as possible. In my next video, I will share my program with you to do that, and you will all have access to it. So yeah, look forward to that one, and thanks for watching.